Well, my name's Samantha Brown. I am from Taos, New Mexico. The business is in Carson, New Mexico. We are an online used gear store that focuses on access, education, sustainability, and really promoting a strong community feel. The business has morphed a few times, but we focus on giving a lot back to outdoor wilderness charities that focus on those aspects of access, education, and sustainability. We have been in business for about a year, and well, a little over a year, I guess now.
My car, like $100 picture. I don't know.
So, Chap, my partner, and I were kind of trying to figure out what we wanted to do when I was like, oh my God, we have so much stuff, like outdoor gear equipment. I was like, why do we have all of this stuff? We're not using it, like what are we gonna do with it? And I was like, I'm not gonna sell them individually on Craigslist. And then Chap and I just got to thinking, and we were like, oh my gosh, we should create. Originally it was gonna be us living in a van, going from different events around the country, like selling used gear to people. It's like a snowball, and it started off really small, and the idea was like we were gonna like take the dogs and we were gonna climb everywhere we went and like kind of van life, dirtbag it. But the company kind of took on its own mind of its own and started rolling, and it's just gotten so much bigger than we ever really imagined. And we've had so much positive feedback and reinforcement that like people just love this idea, and I think that it brings a lot of benefit. It's very important for us to create like a sustainability aspect, and so I never want to like throw anything away. Like you can see over there, like I've got some junky skis and some poles that are like really kind of gnarly, and I think that it's important for us to like create that sustainability moving forward. It's like an 80, I mean Chap knows the stat better than I think it's like an $80 billion a year industry, outdoor gear, or like outdoor industry is. Specifically in America, we buy things and then we put them in our closet and then we buy it again next year. And we have very consumer mindset, and we really need to start kind of shifting that to create like a more sustainable future for our planet. Like it's just not reasonable. And a lot of these things are so nice, and it's like, do you need another Patagonia puffy? Like that's not what Patagonia had in mind when he created that business. You know, he wanted people to buy that jacket and that be the jacket that they had for the rest of their life. There's a huge aspect of like upcycling and creating things that are new from something that's old that we're working on as creating sustainability within the company. Anything that I get, like we get a bunch of donations given to us through Christie Sports, but a lot of the stuff that we get from them is fairly damaged, or you know, they'll donate us a boot, but there's not another boot, right? Like we'll get just like random like ski poles that are like shattered or missing the tips. There's our whole upcycling department that I'm trying to facilitate and create things out of these things that have already so we're not throwing anything away. We also want to encourage people so that like if they buy something from us, we give them a shipping label, we pay for that shipping label, and we're like, hey, sell something back to us or donate something back, so that you're helping those charities, like, and we're helping protect our wilderness areas that, you know, as the population grows, those areas are being used more often. They need more care, and we need to be taking these things seriously. One of my biggest issues with it is, you know, the shipping, and which is why we do gear events. And so like if you're wanting to like sell us gear, you want to make donations, like we do different events all across the country, and maybe not right now because of COVID. That's kind of shifted a lot of things, but we were doing that to make it so that it was a little bit more eco-sustainable and not as shipping everything all the time, but it's part of it. Rerouted has made a huge pivot because of COVID-19. Literally like the month before COVID really hit, Chap and I were talking about selling this house, selling the property, moving to Albuquerque, opening up a storefront and having that be the main hub. Because of COVID-19, we've shifted our business plan through this cohort because of to like help get these mom and pop shops able to be online in like an easy way so that they're all in one place. And then it also just kind of makes used gear so much more accessible, not only for but for the customers. Bringing in mom and pop shops, so we've changed our software, we've updated, we've really tried to make it so that like other used mom and pop used gear stores can now get their store online. And my whole idea behind it is like, well, they're gonna be like, well, doesn't that create competition for me? Well, sure, but like I was saying, used gear is so limited. The likelihood of your customer coming into your store and finding the exact thing that they wanted, maybe. Or maybe we all come together and we come together as a team and we all know that like, hey, yeah, my customer here in Arizona might find somebody else's used gear in Colorado, but that person in Colorado who they brought in might find something in your store. We're stronger together than we are apart. And like, I think that if we can get everybody to come in and we make all this used gear super accessible online, we can ship it to anyone, anywhere. I think that like the potential for it is huge. And I think coming together and working together to make used gear accessible that's really how we've shifted. Within the industry and like working as a woman, I mean, there's women in the industry. Like, don't get me wrong, there are women. There's just a lot more men. And there just is. And I honestly, for the most part, have had super like positive experiences. Like I feel very blessed. I don't feel like I struggle with like, because I'm a woman, and I feel like we're coming into an era like where we're doing things, like women are banding together and we are supporting each other in a way that like, I think that hasn't been seen on this magnitude ever. And I feel like whenever I meet a woman in the industry, like I always feel super supportive and I support it, and I don't feel like I'm being subjected to like some things that other women, I know that women feel in other industries. Getting into these sports that are out in the outdoor recreation world, it's a steep learning curve, and it's super expensive to get into. And if you don't have all the resources, it makes it so that it's like a super limited number of people. Like we've been saying, it's like, it feels like an elite world. And nature is free, like, and I don't want people to be discouraged from going and enjoying it, because honestly, it has brought so much joy to my life. And like, I don't know if I would be sane without it. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't know. And so a lot of times it's like, oh, I started dating this guy and he taught me how to do this. And I'm like, no, let's teach each other. That's not how we learn how to do things anymore. How did you get into climbing? And I'm like, well, I got on Tinder and I found a guy that will teach me how to climb. Like, I don't want that to be how other women are getting into the sport. Like, I want women to be like, oh, hey, I know a super sweet all girls group that goes out and climbs, and we teach each other, right? We're not gonna climb the same way that guys do, right? And like, there's so many more guys, and like, men are oftentimes, like, I feel like, maybe not as much anymore, but like, men are often encouraged to like go outside and like go do dangerous sports, and like girls are like, honey, don't hurt yourself, like don't go do that. And it's like, no, like, let's show each other how to get out there. Anytime any one of my friends or like a girl that I know is like, oh, I've always wanted to go climbing, I'm like, perfect, let's go, I'm going this weekend, you should come. And I've got extra shoes and I've got a harness that you can wear, like, don't worry about it. I've got a helmet, you can watch me climb, and then I'll belay you because you know me, and I will make sure that you're safe. When I rock climb, I don't think about anything else but rock climbing, what that next move is gonna be, and it's so liberating to kind of put the rest of your life on pause and let your brain kind of relax. It just kind of brings inner peace, I guess, and I don't have to work at it. Like I just, the second I start that climb, that's it. I don't, like, what did you think about up there? I'm like, rock climbing, this route. I thought about what I was doing in that specific moment. And for me, that was just a super liberating experience. My goal for climbing, honestly, is for just Chap and I to just have time to climb more. We're lucky if we climb 4 days in a month, which is kind of insane from where we started. We maybe took 4 days off in a month when we first started climbing together. So it would be super awesome if we could, you know, dedicate a little bit more time, just because I know how much joy it brings to us within the business. Oh man, I just hope we get to a place where we can hire people, more people, so that we can have time. We're super blessed to be where we are and be doing what we're doing and have passion for our work, and so I just hope that that continues moving forward.